Welcome, Collective, to Timeless Energy. I'm Barbara. This is a general, timeless reading. This is entertainment purpose only. If it does not resonate, please do not try to make it fit. Watch out for scammers in the comment section. This is my disclaimer. It is not me. I do not reach out. Thank you for liking, subscribing. Thank you very much for your comments and especially for any donations through PayPal. There is a link somewhere in there. I will be pulling a Runes Oracle first, which is the norm. And there we go. Runes Oracle. Alright. We have Ingwas. This is a Fecundity Renewal. I apologize for my pronunciation. This rune symbolizes fulfillment. It is a reserve of energy waiting to be developed and used. Okay. We need to pull 3 cards for our timeless energy. With Spirit's guidance, I apologize. I shuffle off to the side due to space allotment. Let Spirit guide me. Let Spirit guide me. Spirit guide me. For the timeless energy message of today. A message for the timeless energy. Spirit guide me. Spirit guide me. Okay, in reverse I have the 5 of Swords. I apologize for the visibility. We're going to set that right there. Okay, Spirit guide me. What's the second card for the message of today? Spirit guide me. Spirit guide me. A second card for the message of today. Spirit guide me. We got the Queen of Cups, and that is in reverse. Okay, one more card for the energy. One more card. Oops, that was fast. And we have the 9 of Pentacles, and that is in the upright. This is my second attempt. Actually, third attempt to start this today. We had technical difficulties. It was no mystery. I don't do technology very well. I already did the smudging. So let's look at our first card, the 5 of Swords. We are in reverse. Now, in reverse, the 5 of Swords is basically moving on. It can be a compromise, an ending of conflict. This is a heart chakra energy, a Venus energy, and Aquarius energy. It's in reverse. It could be burial. In reverse. Compromise. Now, I automatically see that I have 2 cards right here that both are Venus. Personal magnetism could be sexual or erotic. But the 5 of Swords is in reverse. And a Venus in reverse is difficulty making friends, no luck with money endeavors. With the Aquarius here, we are talking about treating strangers with caution. That's always a good one right there. Being stubborn or sticking to principles. Now, in reverse, not sticking to your principles. And with the Venus also in this card, no luck with money? Well, that sticks out. In reverse, Venus can be no luck with finances. And in reverse, Aquarius could be not sticking to your principles. Was the heart chakra ready to expand? Or you have diverse interests. You ready to expand? You're not sticking to principles, though. Your radical views are maybe coming into play, or your spending in the upright is lavish. So I'm not saying that your spending is lavish here, but that you're not having a lot of luck with finances. If you're trying to expand, or you have interests, well, normally if you start a new project, I mean, it's kind of a given that if you're going to expand or start any kind of project, that it's going to be taking a little bit of time or effort or financial. And this card is saying that there's some kind of expansion that's being attempted. It doesn't say change. It does say moving on. But it doesn't say change. It says moving on. So you're moving on away from something. You're trying to expand an interest, a passion, and you're not having any luck financially with the direction that you're going with. This could also be that you're not having luck with friends, or maybe support system from your friends. But that's okay, because you know what? We've got 2 more cards, and it takes 3 cards to make a message, right? Is it going to be stubborn about it? Whatever it is that you're trying to work on. This card is indicating that you need to withdraw from the stubbornness part and maybe compromise a little bit. If you're going to reach your goal, it's saying don't be stubborn. Compromise a little bit, and you might be running into a little bit of financial. Sometimes it's just a matter of deciding what to prioritize. Sometimes it's a matter of needing to wait a certain amount of time for all of the pieces of the puzzle to actually fall into place. But whatever it is, moving on, trying not to be stubborn. You have special interests or things that you're trying to focus on, or goals, and you're not having a really great deal of luck figuring out the financial aspect of that piece. Now the Queen of Cups is in reverse. And it can be vanity. It can be unnecessary sacrifice for the cause of what another person is doing. This can be a time sacrifice. I don't think that most people understand that when we're talking about abundance or things like that, it's not always monetary, it's not always money. Sometimes the sacrifice can be your time. Sometimes the sacrifice can be letting go of something you would prefer because there's a door opening, something is going to come into that door, and maybe it's not your first choice, and you're making a sacrifice to allow the other option. But I always focus on the time, because actually time can be more valuable than money in some cases. You can do a lot without money. If you have skills, you're sacrificing your skills. You're doing something to help someone else and you're not getting paid. Okay, so we're talking sacrifice here. What's in reverse? You have the Neptune energy and you have the Cancer energy, which is emotion. You have the third eye chakra. So this card here in reverse is your intuitive ability. You know who you are. You're not afraid to let anybody know what you're about. But your intuitive ability is very strong with this card. Those who sacrifice themselves, or those who are vain, your intuitive ability lets you know, if you think about it, the direction that's happening. If you think about it, you normally know the people that are around you. If you have a strong intuitive ability, you can almost predict what their choices are going to be. In some cases, like you've got rheumatoid arthritis and you're in a great deal of pain, you can predict the rain. It's as simple as that. Being intuitive is knowledge about what you're dealing with. Okay, so you have the intuitive ability with the Queen of Cups. Even if it's in reverse, we're talking the sacrifice of your time, the sacrifice of your finances, reaching a goal, a special interest. You're walking away from one thing, you're walking towards another thing. You're not having any luck figuring out or dealing with the financial monetary part. And this specifically says monetary. But the sacrifice here does not necessarily have to do with monetary. The sacrifice could be your time. Providing a service, if you have a skill that someone else needs, that could be a sacrifice of your time. Was the thing about the Queen of Cups in reverse, you're dealing with possible dishonesty. You're not having luck with the financial piece of the puzzle. You might be dealing with somebody who's not being honest. You might be dealing with somebody that's not reliable. This is all like something that you would pick up with your third eye gut instinct of what you're dealing with, who you're dealing with, or the direction that you're moving. Because here it says you're moving on from something. You're working towards a new goal. Goals take skill. They take time. They take money. And it says here that the financial part of the solution is not working out as well as you would like. So you're dealing with something that has to do with dishonesty here. You're dealing with the Queen in reverse. Which has to do with vanity. Vanity. A dishonest energy, the energy of vanity. That does stick out, trying to put on a front, trying to be somebody that you're not, trying to let everybody know, oh yeah, everything's fine. You know what? If you're moving on from something and you're trying to reach a goal and you're having a difficulty, maybe you're not being honest about sharing what those difficulties are. And you might have somebody in your circle or in your life that could provide a service of some kind to help you out. You need to get over this, dealing with this dishonest. The Neptune energy in the Queen of Cups It has a great deal of sensitivity. It's not just intuitive ability. In order to be intuitive and feel kind of the energy of what's going on around you, the sensitivity is very strong here. If you're dealing with somebody who's vain, who has a goal that has nothing to do with anything practical, they're fantasizing. You're dealing with somebody who's unforgiving, okay? Your intuitive ability will point out what these things are. You will be able to see the path, because there is no straight path. There's always going to be a speed bump. As your intuitive ability can point out, we are not trying to assume that we know what somebody else is thinking. That would be a big mistake. I have done this in the past, and I have usually been wrong, or maybe I was right, but that person wasn't willing to admit that I was right. That would not be the direction to go in. Your intuitive ability, are you dealing with somebody who's fantasizing, but not practically putting in the work? Are you dealing with somebody who's completely unforgiving, and you know that, but they're not revealing that to you for one reason or another? They are being dishonest about how they truly feel. In some cases, that can be just to keep the boat straight. You don't want to sink the ship for yourself. You don't want to sink the ship for someone else. But we are talking long-term energy, generational energy. This can go on for not only your lifespan, but could have an impact on the next generation. And we're talking moving on. We're talking you're not having a lot of luck with money, but you've got plans. You're reluctant to expose yourself. Okay, we got this covered. You're moving on. Was the energy that you're dealing with might be vain, and it might be unforgiving as far as who you're dealing with. You might be dealing with a sacrifice of some kind, yours or someone else's. And it might be a situation with vanity, but we have intuitive ability here that is extremely sensitive and extremely spot on. And if you follow your intuition, no matter what's going on in your life, this is water sign energy. This is emotional energy. We're dealing with something that could have an emotional impact on you or someone near you. And in some cases, if there's a little bit of dishonesty about what you're planning, you only have yourself to forgive for that. My belief is that as long as I'm not harming another. But it's absolutely amazing at how many people there are in the world today that don't have that belief. They're going to do what they want, irregardless, and in some cases, they're not thinking about the harm that they're doing to another person. But they're moving on. Whoever's been harmed has decided to move on. They're not revealing their plans. There's intuitive ability here, very strong intuitive ability. And as long as you follow your gut instinct, you'll be okay. Now with the 9 of Pentacles, which is upright, we're seeing accomplishment. That's stuck right out there. Material well-being. You followed your intuition. You moved on. You weren't sure, but here you have material well-being. That could be your finances that we're having a difficulty with here. Using your intuitive ability and understanding the people around you the energy that you're dealing with, the choices that you're making, and not going out of your way to do harm intentionally. And here we have the result is accomplishment. The result is material well-being. Now we do have love of nature here, and I actually personal preference for hugging a tree the old-fashioned way. Okay, financial security and stability is important. Rewards through hard work. This card is shouting that energy out. Rewards from the hard work and effort that you've put in. You have the Venus here, you have the Venus here. But this Venus is upside down. This Venus is upright. The aspect of the life that you want, what you most value, what makes you happiest, with the Virgo energy in this card of being practical. You do have the health in here, so we might have some focus on health, but for the most part we see accomplishment. So if it's your health that you're focusing on and you're making some changes here, we are reaching some accomplishment. If we're moving on a special project or a move in some way to separate yourself or make changes, we're seeing some accomplishment here. Because you used your intuitive ability, because you were sensitive to the needs of others, you are not living in a fantasy world. You are not dealing with a situation where you're unforgiving, which actually probably could backfire on you. I am not saying that it's wrong to be unforgiving. There are a lot of people that do that. And it works. But it is a complete break from somebody that could be an important part of your life. It is a personal choice, and we all have free will. The unforgiving, the fantasy world, the sensitivity that you're dealing with here. You used your intuitive ability, which is at its strongest, and you did it without bringing harm onto another person, and you reached financial stability and security. Rewards through the hard work that you put in. You made a sacrifice of your time, your energy, possibly your financial, maybe other things like your skills and what you're able to help somebody with, because helping others here. And you were able to obtain a goal where you were successful. Now you're balanced, you're grounded, you have success and accomplishment, you have love, and the Virgo is a sign of communication. Was I didn't see that with the other ones. We've got the emotional energy that is sticking right out here. We've got two Venus cards. That is love. That is harmony. The power to attract love or harmony. But where this is upside down, this is in the upright. Using your intuitive ability, being sensitive, not harming others, reaching out for what you're looking for, your goal, using time, energy, resources, and your intuitive ability carefully. You obtained the goal of stability, of love, of financial stability, of love. You reach that goal with the Venus from the upside down to the upright. You were able to turn this situation around. And I think that that's what this message is. You were able to turn this situation around. If it was somebody who was fickle and living in a fantasy world, if it was somebody who was unforgiving, we're talking about a party. It could be you, it could be someone else. You were able to turn that way around, focusing on your goals, focusing on the things that you have a passion for. You were able to turn this negative into this positive, and now everything will work out in your favor. And that is the message that I am seeing here. This is a card of renewal. It is saying to reserve energy that's waiting to be developed and used. And I did mention waiting, sometimes being patient. That is actually one of the things that we're not really good at. But it's a skill. It's literally a skill. It's like being able to use a drill or a saw. It's like being able to use the skill level that you might have on a computer searching for information. The skill level of being able to move around and physically do things that other people are not able to do. The intuitive ability and the sensitivity to understand, to use the resources, to renew, and to reserve your energy that needs to be used or needs to be developed to reach this goal. Yes, I see this, was able to turn this around. Whatever the result of whatever your situation is, I wish you the best of luck. That seems to be the message that I have today. I won't go over it again or confuse anybody in particular. I definitely saw the Venus right away, and I wasn't sure, but it definitely looks like the situation, whatever you're dealing with, is looking better. Because you've used your instinct, your intuitive ability, your resources to turn a situation around, and you have not put yourself in a boat that's going to sink. Okay? We have a fair chance of being successful here. We have a fair chance of reaching our goal, and we have a fair chance of maintaining the stability that is so important for you and for the ones that you love that are around you. And there's absolutely no reason, from what I can see, that anybody needs to be worried about this. Whatever you're going through, you'll be able to turn it around if you use your instinct, your intuition. And thank you for visiting me today. I do have several other videos. If this does not apply to you, please do not make it fit. I have other videos. You're more than welcome to check out any of them. They're not always perfect. I am not perfect. We are not. We are humans. Nobody is perfect. But I thank you for your time to visit and check out my Timeless Energy today. And by all means, come back again.